Ray Brown's Talking Birds.
Made possible by the generous support of the Birdwatchers General Store, Orleans, Cape Cod. Birdwatchersgeneralstore.com.
By Vortex Optics with the VIP warranty. Their unlimited lifetime promise to keep you and your optic covered. Learn more at vortexoptics.com.
By Feathersnap, the smart bird feeder with a high-resolution camera and species identification software aimed to educate and spread joy to every level of avian enthusiasts. Find out more at feathersnapcam.com.
And by Hog Island Audubon Camp. For full camp schedule, program details, and to register, visit hogisland.audubon.org.
Good morning, afternoon, or evening. Welcome to our show number 1025, during which we'll learn about a marvelous campaign called World Migratory Bird Day. Also, Mike O'Connor's solution to pesky pigeon problems. Right now, let's get a little taste of Tennessee with this audio postcard from Ken. Wait a second. He's not ready yet. Now he's ready.
Hey, y'all. This is Ken Briscoe in Memphis, Tennessee. Walking back from Chickasaw Lake, where I saw my first hooded mergansers. I'm walking back to my bike through the woods. And to the right, I heard a pileated woodpecker call. And I look over, and it's flying right toward my way. But then it lit on a branch. Then it took off again to my left and landed on the snag branch of a big old tree. And I could see it's got a bare patch on that snag. But it stood up straight and kind of reared back and pecked down at the bark 2 or 3 times and knocked another fresh big chunk off. Pretty surprising. And then it foraged or ate or explored, I'm not sure which. And then it hitched back a little bit to another barked spot and stood up straight and pecked down, knocked another big chunk of bark off after 2 or 3 pecks. Pretty amazing to see that head moving like that. Not real fast. I don't think it's using a lot of force. Unfortunately, it's kind of backlit, but the sun is catching its red crest and lighting that up nicely. And then it flew away. So y'all have a good day.
Thank you, Ken. Beautiful report there. We're looking for more audio postcards. Easy to make. Just grab your smartphone or digital device and just record what you're seeing or hearing for whatever, 30 seconds, a minute. Get that little file and send it to ray@talkingbirds.com for your audio postcard. That's ray@talkingbirds.com. That would be our mystery bird. A little preview. That would also be our mystery bird. It's a preview of our contest coming along later in the show. I'd like to get you ready for it, so we'll get some calls in before the show ends because we get late callers all the time. So a little preview here. Clues about our mystery bird. It's a long and slender crow-sized raptor. Grayish overall, grayish-brown overall, with pale barring and heavy streaks on the underparts, along with prominent ear tufts, an orange facial disc, and yellow eyes. Our bird breeds from southern Canada to New England and winters through midwestern U.S. states and down into Mexico. It roosts and nests in trees by day and hunts in open areas by night. Though widespread and relatively common in its range, it is superbly camouflaged and so rarely seen. I'm going to use the word blank here because if I don't use the word blank, it might be more of a giveaway. Its nicknames include the brush blank, the cat blank, and the lesser horned blank. That's our mystery bird. The contest coming along a bit later on. Beautiful prizes, including from fresh cut paper makers of beautiful life-size pop-up floral bouquets that are wilt-proof and crafted to last a lifetime. We have a certificate for 5 bouquets and bird-themed bouquets among their selections, including the new Hummingbird Oasis bouquet. It's beautiful. And a big bag of our favorite coffee, shade-grown, bird-friendly, and truly delicious Birds and Beans coffee, all coming along in our Mystery Bird contest as the prizes there. A royal salute to another member of the royal family. That's our ambassadors family here at Talking Birds, now more than 900 strong, helping us spread the word. And thank you to Cheryl Jackson from Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Cheryl says, I've been listening to your show for a while now and heard a couple of new ambassadors the last couple of weeks, encouraging anyone to join. So I thought, why the heck not? I got started by watching birds in our backyard during the COVID years and have learned so much by listening to the show. I go for walks on Sunday afternoons in our local city and state parks, and this is my favorite to listen to as I start my walk and hike. That is so nice. Thank you so much, Cheryl, and thank you for becoming a Talking Birds ambassador. How to do it, Cheryl will tell you. It's very easy. Just go to talkingbirds.com and click at the top there where it says Get Involved, and you can see how to do it. Very, very easy. And we'll send you a bunch of cards for you to send out or hand out to friends and neighbors at your convenience. Again, that's at talkingbirds.com under the Get Involved tab. Still to come today, we'll learn about a beautiful international event called World Migratory Bird Day with special guest Dr. Susan Bonfield. Also today, Mike O'Connor will join us for Let's Ask Mike, almost live from the archive today, about proper procedures for preventing pigeon problems. And up next, we'll go way up north to meet a sweet-looking songbird with a voice to match as this week's featured feathered friend. To see this week's featured feathered friend in North America at this time of year, you'd pretty much be out of luck. But come spring, you might find one on a visit to northern Alaska or the northern reaches of Canada's Yukon Territory. The bird is the blue throat, a small songbird that's part of the genus Lucinia, formerly classed as belonging to the thrush family, but now considered to be one of the Old World flycatchers. This bird is aptly named, at least the male is, with its strikingly bright blue throat, a blue bib below, and a rust-brown central spot in between. It has black and rust-brown chest bands and white underparts. The back and wings are brown, and the nearly black tail has a rust-brown base. Females have a white throat and faint orange and blue chest bands. Both sexes sport thick white eyebrows. Blue throats feed by gleaning insects from low vegetation and by turning over leaves and soil on the ground. They also hawk flying insects. The blue throat is one of the handful of birds that winter in Asia, but breed in part in North America, although as a small percentage of the total population, estimated at 2 million worldwide. The Cornell Lab says that the exact wintering grounds of the bird are still unknown. It's Lucinia svesica, today's Talkin' Birds featured feathered friend, the blue throat. And welcome again to our show, number 1025. International Migratory Bird Day was created in 1993 by forward-looking folks at the Smithsonian Migratory Bird Center. In 2018, Environment for the Americas, a nonprofit that connects people with bird conservation, joined with partners to create a single global bird conservation education campaign, World Migratory Bird Day. And a special guest is with us this morning to tell us more about the campaign. Dr. Susan Bonfield holds a master's in natural resources from the University of Michigan and a PhD in human dimensions of natural resources from Colorado State University. In 2007, she founded Environment for the Americas and is its director. And if we have our buttons set properly, she's about to join us. Good morning, Susan.
Good morning, Ray.
It actually worked. Nice. Okay, we've had some interesting little connection things here lately. Well, Susan, I'll ask you about World Migratory Bird Day's theme for this year, reflecting people and bird conservation. But first, if you would tell us more about the event's background and its purpose.
Yeah, Migratory Bird Day, well, as you said, it started as International Migratory Bird Day in the early 1990s as the Keystone Outreach Program of Partners in Flight. So its purpose was to connect the science to the general public and to introduce people to the threats migratory birds face and how they can get involved in actions to protect them.
You have themes every year, changing themes, and this year it's shared spaces, creating bird-friendly cities and communities. How does that work, and how do you get cities and communities involved?
Well, there are a number of growing programs that are engaging communities in conservation-based actions that help to protect birds. So you might hear of the Bird City Network from the American Bird Conservancy. Canada has its own Bird Cities program. Audubon has a program. And even without a formal program, cities and communities can be engaged in conservation. So we work across the Americas to work with not just people to get them engaged in birds, but also with their local governments as well.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard a lot about these Bird Cities programs, and I know there's been a number of different efforts for that, and among from different organizations. What's your overview of Bird Cities programs? Has that really caught on well?
Yes, it has, and it's growing. And in fact, we are Environment for the Americas is coordinating efforts in Latin America and the Caribbean to expand those programs to those areas. But yes, it's a wonderful way for communities to come together and to recognize some of the different aspects and ways that they can, adapt their communities to be more bird friendly.
Mm-hmm. And we know that urban areas can be wonderful for looking at birds. Lots of events, and as you say, with the Bird Cities program demonstrating that. Tell us, Susan, if you would, about some of the events planned for this year's campaign.
Well, we actually don't plan the events. We do have our own event in Colorado, but what we do is we provide the resources and the framework that organizations need to host their own Migratory Bird Day event. So, for example, every year through this conservation theme that we promote, organizations are able to come on, use the messaging, use the education materials, and introduce that in their communities. So it's a wonderful way to focus on, some of the more relevant and pertinent issues that birds face today.
Mm-hmm. So what about for the average person, maybe not part of a group necessarily, or with some kind of a small group? Is there a way for folks to participate that way?
Oh, yes. So our Migratory Bird Day events can be small, less than 10 people. They can be large, hundreds of people over multiple days. They're hosted at zoos, at parks, on wildlife refuges, on public lands. But also there are other events that are just neighborhood activities. Sometimes we hear of events at local fire stations and libraries. So it's one of those great events that you can do pretty much anywhere.
And by the way, so there's a Migratory Bird Day in the spring, and then you can remind us of that date if you would, but then also in the fall with migration in the opposite direction, I believe on October 11th, right?
That's exactly right. So it's the second Saturday in May and the second Saturday in October every year.
All right, World Migratory Bird Day, and organized, if I'm saying this correctly, for the Western Hemisphere by Environment for the Americas. You can correct me if that's not the correct way to describe it, but tell us about Environment for the Americas and some of the other programs.
Yeah, we have a number of programs. We are a nonprofit organization. We do work internationally and globally now. So in addition to coordinating World Migratory Bird Day in the Americas and partnering with global partners in Asia and Europe, we also coordinate programs that help to protect migratory birds, such as the Western Hummingbird Partnership. So this is a tri-national program that brings together Canada, the U.S., and Mexico. to look at gaps in our information about hummingbirds. And, in the West, there are 7 species that we focus on, and a number of them are in decline and some in very steep decline. So that's one of our other programs. We also work with young professionals. So we place about 200 early career professionals in internship programs to help them gain experiences in conservation and land stewardship.
Well, lots of wonderful programs. When will that, or that hummingbird program, is that already underway, or what's the timetable on that?
Oh, that's been underway for quite a while, and we've been in charge of coordinating and facilitating it for about the past 7 years.
All right. I want to give this website for sure for the best way now to find out about World Migratory Bird Day. That would be, and tell me if this is correct, environmentamericas.org. Best website?
Yes, you can go. That's right. You can go to environmentamericas.org. You can also go to migratorybirdday.org and find it directly.
Okay, worldmigratorybirdday.org or Environment Americas, that's plural, environmentamericas.org. Dr. Susan Bonfield is founder and executive director of Environment for the Americas, and we've given that website where you can go, the 2 websites there from which to choose. Susan, thank you so much, and we'll have you come back on again to talk about some of these other programs because there's a lot to talk about with all the work that you're doing. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Susan Bonfield here on Talking Birds. And up next, it's our Mystery Bird contest in just 1 minute. The flutter of a tail feather, the flash of a wing bar in mid-flight. You don't always have a lot of time to identify a bird in nature, let alone to appreciate its beauty. But with Vortex Optics, you'll have the power to bring every wild moment closer. When you choose Vortex, you're choosing to have a partner in the field as passionate about nature as you are. Whether you're spotting old friends on the backyard feeder or packing for a once-in-a-lifetime trip to add a few species to your life list, Vortex offers a full range of optics and optics accessories for every birder and every budget. And whether the birds are taking you to another state or another country, you're always covered by the Vortex VIP warranty, an unlimited lifetime promise to keep you and your optic covered. If you'd like to learn more, or if you need help choosing your next optic, give Vortex a call at 1-800-4VORTEX or visit vortexoptics.com. Our Mystery Bird contest is underway. Here's the number to call. We'd like to invite you to call us as soon as you possibly can so that we'll have time for the actual thing. 781-837-4900 is the number. Here's that number again. 781-837-4900. Today's mystery bird is a long and slender, crow-sized raptor. It's grayish-brown overall with pale barring and heavy streaks on the underparts, along with prominent ear tufts, an orange facial disc, and yellow eyes. Our bird breeds from southern Canada to New England and winters through the midwestern U.S. and down into Mexico. It roosts and nests in trees by day and hunts in open areas by night. Though widespread and relatively common in its range, it is superbly camouflaged and therefore not often seen. That's our mystery bird. Tell us what it is and win those beautiful prizes from Fresh Cut Paper and Birds and Beans Coffee. Even if you get the not exactly right answer, you could be a winner. A drawing will determine our winner among those received here, those guesses received. So we do our very best to make sure we give away those prizes every week. And just a tip for next time, if you're not hearing our show live and would like to, so that you could, for example, enter our Mystery Bird contest, just go to talkingbirds.com and you'll see how to do it. Very easy. Our live broadcast, by the way, and live stream is on Sunday mornings, 9:30 to 10 Eastern. 781-837-4900, that's the number for the Mystery Bird contest, so give us a call as soon as you can. Meanwhile, we'll check in with Mike O'Connor and find out more about pigeons. It's Let's Ask Mike, almost live from the archive in just 1 minute.
Ready to take your backyard bird watching to the next level? FeatherSnap makes Wi-Fi-enabled smart bird feeders that blend the best of technology and nature. Get a high-def glimpse of your feathered friends with a top-of-the-line camera so every visitor can be seen with clarity and detail. A unique dual feeder bin helps attract more species, and built-in solar panels keep your camera's battery going strong. FeatherSnap's mobile app creates a truly immersive experience, allowing you to collect and organize your favorite pics and videos and earn badges along the way. FeatherSnap is a convenient and fun way to capture powerful images of your local birds and help get your friends and family excited about bird watching. Best of all, FeatherSnap offers expert-trained AI identification of more than 275 North American species, thanks to their in-house ornithologist. Check them out today at feathersnapcam.com. feathersnapcam.com.
Mike O'Connor is down there on beautiful sun-splashed Cape Cod. It's Let's Ask Mike Live. I just heard that sigh. Did you just come in off the beach there? Or?
I was just finishing my 10K, Ray, every day.
Every day a 10K. I know that's your slogan.
That's right. There's more like Special K, but the same thing.
Mike, I don't think you have many pigeons on Cape Cod. I could be wrong. Well, I should know that because I lived there for a long time. I just, I don't remember that far back. But you have a listener and or maybe customer who gave you a call and said, I've got a pigeon problem. And you said what?
Hey, give me a call yesterday. Actually, he was one of your ambassadors who gave me a call, and he said he's got his feeders out, and all of a sudden he's getting invaded by pigeons coming to his feeder. And so he was looking for some advice. So I gave him some advice, and I imagine he's not the only one. Pigeons been in this country for 400 years, but they're still considered invasive because they're not native. And they can be a problem because pigeons are big. They eat a lot of food. They can dominate a feeder, and they usually don't travel singly. Usually one shows up, and then you end up with 20, and then they like to roost on buildings and become a little bit of a nuisance. Yeah. So I tell people if pigeons become an issue, first thing to do is take your feeders down. Nobody wants to do that, but that's what you should do. They're there for a reason. They're there because there's food available. So I'd remove the feeders. I'd remove the source of food, and eventually the birds will move on, and then you can reintroduce your feeders. And there are feeders that pigeons can't deal with. If you have a tray out there, you'll get pigeons landing on it. But they have feeders that are weighted, especially one of your sponsors, Bro, makes excellent feeders. You can adjust the weight. So if something large like a pigeon gets on, it just shuts off the source of food. They can't get to it. There are other feeders that we sell a lot of. There are cages. There's a feeder inside a wire cage, and the little birds go in and out. And we sell them mostly to keep out squirrels and we'll say grackles. A lot of people don't like, but the same thing would apply with pigeons. That would keep them from going in there. But there's also always going to be food on the ground because birds are a little bit sloppy and they drop stuff, and especially for people who. And this is 99% of the world who like to use the dreaded mixed bird seed, which is a variety of seeds all packed into one bag. And then people put it in the feeder, and then the bird comes, takes out what that particular bird likes, knocks the rest on the ground. So even if you have one of these cage feeders or these ones they can't land on, the food is going to end up on the ground, and you'll end up with pigeons. So I tell people, if they do have pigeons coming, use sunflower seeds without the shells. That way there's no mess, there's no waste, and there's no mess there on the ground, and you won't get any more pigeons.
Wow, beautiful. Hey, I want to give a little plug for Rosemary Moscow's book about pigeons. I would say the name of it, but I sort of don't remember right at the moment, but I'll look it up. But if you look up, look up Rosemary Moscow, Mosco. She has an absolutely wonderful book.
And I want to give a plug to your guest, Gene Ellison. He stopped by my store, and he was unbelievably pleasant. A lot of times these big-eared birders are a little bit on the nerdy, dull side, kind of like David Claps of the world. This guy was so nice and so sociable. I really like meeting him, and congratulations to him.
Yes, indeed. Thank you, Mike, and we'll talk to you next week.
You got it. Yep.
Mike O'Connor from the legendary Birdwatchers General Store. Gino, that he mentioned, our friend Gino Ellison, who did that big North American big year and really knocked it out of the park. Was it last year? Or maybe it was the year before. That could have been the year before. And we did remember that book by Rosemary Moscow. It's called A Pocket Guide to Pigeon Watching, Getting to Know the World's Most Misunderstood Bird. really terrific book. She is a wonderful writer. We'll be back to the Mystery Bird Contest after this word from National Audubon's Seabird Institute. Hog Island Audubon Camp has welcomed nature enthusiasts to its shores since 1936. Today, the island hosts programs for adults, teens, and families taught by the world's leading naturalists, ornithologists, and artists. New sessions for the 2025 camp season include mindfulness and birding, and let's go birding together. For full schedule, program details, and to register, visit hogisland.audubon.org. That's hogisland.audubon.org. One more time here for the bird on our Mystery Bird Contest at 781-837-4900. What is that bird? Tell us, and win those beautiful prizes in the process. I don't know if we've ever had an entire group calling in on the Mystery Bird Contest, but apparently we do today. It's a group from Michigan called, this is their name, Michigan Bird Brains. Good morning, Michigan Bird Brains.
Go ahead, Stephen.
Good morning. How's it going?
All right. Are you the spokesperson?
Yes, I am. We are the Michigan Bird Brains, also known as Birding by Ear and Beyond, and we do have the answer for our for the mystery bird.
All right. Tell us your name, Mr. Spokesman.
My name is Stephen Kraut.
All right, Stephen. So you
also well known as the Nuthatch here. So
the Nuthatch. All right.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, Stephen and Michigan Bird Brains. What is that mystery bird?
Long-eared owl.
Did we hear that? I think we heard it. Wow. Well, I want to come out and join your group there. You've got a great group going there, I can tell. Wow. Well, Stephen, congratulations. Let's see. I think we have time for a bonus question. You want to try it?
Ooh, yeah.
Okay,
we can do that.
This is really a conservation question, if that's okay. So I'm going to use the word blank here. Blanks in eastern states were hit hard by climate change. Now they're a tool in the battle against climate change. What are those blanks? A, ski slopes. B, cross-country ski trails. Or C, cranberry bogs. What do you say, Stephen and Michigan Bird Brains?
Do cranberry bogs.
Cranberry bogs is the consensus there, and it is correct. Woo! Yeah. I'm so glad you got that right so we can hear that hooping and hollering again there. Nice work. So what they tell us is some of these bogs are in the middle of a transformation that will restore the land to its native wetland ecosystem. Wetlands reduce the impacts of sea level rise and coastal erosion by acting as sort of a sponge that can absorb floodwaters. They can also mitigate climate change by storing carbon dioxide, a greenhouse gas, so they become part of a key strategy in the battle to adapt to and fight climate change. So, Stephen and Michigan Bird Brains, nice work. Got the Mystery Bird Contest and our bonus question as well. We'll send you that feather-friendly kit for preventing bird collisions on windows as part of the package there. How's that sound?
Yeah, you're welcome. And also, thank you to you guys. Thanks to Ray Talking Birds. We thank you guys much for letting you guys be on here. So it's been a pleasure.
All right, our pleasure indeed. Thank you so much, Stephen and Michigan Bird Brains, and that's our show for this week. Thanks for listening. See you next week.
The bird show. I like that. I love it.
Ray Brown's Talking Birds.
Made possible by the generous support of the Birdwatchers General Store, Orleans, Cape Cod. Birdwatchersgeneralstore.com.
By Vortex Optics with the VIP warranty. Their unlimited lifetime promise to keep you and your optic covered. Learn more at vortexoptics.com.
By FeatherSnap, the smart bird feeder with a high-resolution camera and species identification software aimed to educate and spread joy to every level of avian enthusiasts. Find out more at feathersnapcam.com.
And by Hog Island Audubon Camp. For full camp schedule, Program details and to register, visit hogisland.audubon.org.